Oh, so much to get through today. But let's start with Gate's third episode, which introduces us to the three girls from the opening. Let me see. Luna, the elf. Then we have Layla, the mage. Then we have Rory, Mercury, the goth lolly. You could say Rory that they all had L in their name because in Japanese L and R is like written like the same. So it could be. Oh no, not it couldn't be. It must be Roria. But basically, we start out where the episode 2 ends with basically having like getting Luna up from the well, and she's unconscious, and they have to get her clothes off because she needs to get warm. Oh man, I know it's not like the guy do it. It's actually girls that does it, and then we are shall I say then it changes. Basically, they have just arrived to a village where oh man, that village. It's basically like they can't take in an elf. I'm not sure if there's any racism against elves or something, but basically they can't, and also they have to like get away fast because when a dragon first kills a human and gets a taste for its flesh, it never stops. And then we change his perspective to Layla, who have amassed. Oh my god, he's basically a dirty, old pervert, and I like when he's like drops when he's having like he's been introduced where he basically comes down the stair with like books up to his you can basically not see his face or anything, and then he falls and the books falls and he lays on the ground, and the Layla asks if he really should take all those books with him, and he's like basically like a little child that he want all his books, and then when it turns out that also when he like talks about he rather want to mount a girl with big curves and like the sister of Layla instead of a little girl like Layla. She basically uses magic, and he says that magic shouldn't be abused because it's sacred. And then when they can't get away, he basically she basically says to use magic. Or rather, he says it indirectly because he thought it is sacred. Nah, that's so funny. Then when we are introduced to Best Girl, Ruby and Mercury, man, she's like taking down an entire camp, and I was like, how is a main character getting to talk to her? Because if she's like an agent who kills like all people just for her guard, she could be a problem. But it turns out that she only kills bad people. And I like the reason why she's Best Girl, when she's basically like talking with the village kids who sees her as an oracle or something, like a deity, not a deity, but a servant of a deity, so they treat her with respect. It tells that those cars that they are riding, the cars that our people, the Earthlings, let's call them, that is basically riding, they are more comfortable than the carriage. And she says that he want to try to ride one. And that could, of course, be seen a little sexual. But the way we then, changes, she's basically sitting on the main character Itami's crouch, and yeah, you know, like that, and he's basically like, stop, jumping, and then his friend, he's basically like, I'm jealous. Oh man, I freaking love Rory. I freaking love her. She is best girl. Oh man. But let's get to continue, because I couldn't make this decision without seeing Luna in action, and we actually see that when the dragon who burned down Luna's village attacks the caravan, because they was like, you know, fleeing. We see that, and yeah, see, basically they can't like do shit against the dragon, even with, and they set 15 calibers, and I doubt that, because I don't think there's any guns other than sniper pistols that not pistols, guns, or I'm not sure what, sniper rifles that shoots 50 calibers. You know, the 50 caliber is like the only one that can penetrate what's called bulletproof vehicle. Like, I think the president can be penetrate. The U.S. president can be penetrated with that. I'm not sure, and of course it's not public if it's that possible. But that at least what I know about the 15 caliber. But well, let's say it like this. Basically, Luna wakes up and she says like something. I cannot recall the exact what she says, but basically he figures out that she means the eye. So he has like a guy, his partner shoot a rocket launcher, which misses, or it would have missed if not for Best Girl. Basically throwing her scythe, because she is like a scythe user, and Luna is like bow, and yeah, you know, the classic. Then which shoots lightning, which causes the dragon to you know, like slide over a little, so it hits its arm, and it basically pulverizes the arm. There's nothing left from what I can see, and it flies away. And yeah, then they have a funeral for the people who died, and then the kids who is, you know, like orphans now, the villagers can't take them because yeah. So Itami, he agrees to take them with him, which makes the female officer, or at least his female companion, not the, I'm not talking about the other world's girls, but his human earthling girl. It's not a girlfriend. She's basically smiling. He's like, what's in with you? Like she's, you know, like planning to kill him or something. And then when he arrives at the base, he's basically told that it was stupid of him to bring them, because, yeah. And that's where the episode ends on. No, it's not. Actually, it's where the end for, or shall I say, main cast. Then there's, you know, the princess, the Scarred. We are introduced to them after. I don't think it's after the credits. Then we see like they basically meet someone who has seen them kill the dragon, and then they talk with them to get information. Yeah, and that's how it ends, because it's not like, it's just like they're green and so I'll have to watch the 4th episode to get more information. But I must say, I really like it so far. The first episode didn't impress me, as I have said in my previous, but this one, this is impressed me. Especially Rory, best girl. But well, that's pretty much all I have to talk about this episode. So I will see you in the next review, and you guys have a good day, good night, where you are, and cheers, guys.